For the 34th time, dating back to 1982, the best of the Busch Series have assembled to do battle at one of NASCAR's most exciting venues. Known simply as the Action Track, this three-quarter-mile D-shaped oval provides the setting for tonight's Busch Series short track finale, the 19th annual Autolite Fram 250. For the past 2 years, when the lights have come on at Richmond, this sun has begun to shine. The thrill in his car could stand for the number of consecutive September wins for the team, or simply third-generation champion, a designation Dale Earnhardt Jr. earned as a two-time Busch Series titleist. This season, the three cars had its third different full-time driver, as former truck champion and now Busch rookie Ron Hornaday jumps aboard. Speaking of rookie jumps, two-time winner Kevin Harvick has leaped to within 23 points of the runner-up spot in the standings, now held by Series veteran Jason Keller. Now, why are we referring to runner-up spots? Maybe because this man, point leader Jeff Green, is gone. 604 points ahead of anybody and everybody, which means with just 7 events remaining, he can focus on winning, just like he did from the pole here this past spring.
There is only one way for these Busch regulars to approach this race tonight: run their guts out, and then hope that Mark Martin realizes halfway through the race he forgot to buy tickets to tonight's $54 million lottery drawing. On the pole is Todd Bodine. He got back to victory lane at Michigan. Tonight, he comes in 4th in points, just 88 out of 2nd. He has 3 top 10s in his last 4 races at Richmond. Jeff Green continues his charge to the championship, and tonight looks for the Richmond sweep. He did win here in May, the only race he has won this year where Mark Martin was in the field. And speaking of Mark, he won last Saturday at Darlington, and tonight chases his 46th career win in the Busch Series. He led 147 laps here in May and finished 4th. Tonight, he starts 5th. And just in case Mark should leave to go get those lottery tickets, life won't get any easier for the Busch regulars, because Jeff Burton starts outside of row number 1.
But, Bill, there are a number of Busch Series regulars that could win tonight at Richmond, and one of those is Randy LaJoie. Now, Randy told me yesterday he will not be back with this team in 2001. He has signed a letter of intent to drive with Joe Nemechek. But LaJoie has never won here at Richmond, and tonight he wants to get one more victory for the number 1 team. But one other guy that's been on a roll that's a Busch Series regular is Elton Sawyer. Sawyer finished 3rd last week at Darlington and has a great car tonight. He could get to victory lane. But the one driver I think has never been able to showcase his talents as he should here at Richmond is Kevin Grubb. He's from nearby Mechanicsville, Virginia, and Grubb has not had good finishes at this track, even though he's run very, very well. But the car that I think could contend with Mark Martin and Jeff Burton tonight has a number 2 on it. That's Kevin Harvick, and Harvick's team is on a roll. With the momentum they've got from 2 career victories this season, I believe with their brand new race car tonight, the number 2 car could get victory number 3.
Remaining in this, the 19th year for the NASCAR Busch Series Grand National Division. It has been domination in the point standings by Jeff Green. Just 88 points, those separate Keller, Harvick, and Bodine. Bill Parsons, a great run at Darlington, enters the top 10. And now we go down trackside for the 4 words every race fan waits to hear: the command.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
With that command, the field of 43 roars to life and gets set for 250 laps, 187.5 miles for a purse of over $670,000. Yeah, they're going to rub fenders and bang bumpers at Richmond, and it's coming your way next as ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports, presents NASCAR. When we come back, a look at the starting grid, and we'll wave the green flag from Richmond. Hello, and Benny Parsons, glad to have you with us tonight. And Benny, last week at Darlington, we talked about the fact that you had to take care of your equipment. But here tonight at Richmond, I think the words are fender management, tire management. Keep the fenders on the car and keep the tires under you.
We're always talking about tire management, but tonight I really think it's going to be important. Last night, in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, they had 3 sets of tires at their disposal. And they only ran 200 laps, and at points of the race, some of those trucks really struggle finding the grip. Tonight, they have 3 sets of tires at their disposal, and they got to run 250 laps. So there'll be segments tonight these guys will be struggling trying to find the grip.
Our Suzuki starting grid shows Todd Bodine picked up his 6th career pole. How about Jeff Burton on the outside front row? And Benny, this racetrack these drivers are going to compete on very tough. We mentioned it's a 3/4 mile, D-shaped oval, very wide. It seems to be a lot of room to pass, 2 and 3 grooves, but sometimes it gets very crowded.
As these tires get hot, it's going to become very crowded. The groove will move up. All practice long in qualifying, the cars have been on the bottom of the racetrack. As the tires get warmer, they'll move up the racetrack, and then the bottom will become very slippery. The winner will probably be the guy that handles on the bottom better than anyone else.
Again, 43 cars will start. We'll have 8 onboard cameras. You see some of the onboards. There's a look at our starting grid for the Autolite Fram 250. Getting set for 250 laps of action here at Richmond International Raceway. The final short track assault of the year for the NASCAR Busch Series Gladiators. And final visit of the season here, the beautiful Richmond International Raceway in Henrico County, Virginia.
Phil Parsons, as they come off turn 4. And there you see the last starter, Mike Wallace, and there you see the green flag.
Perfect timing to start as Todd Bodine will lead him down 2 by 2. Jeff Burton on the outside in turn 1.
That's Elliott Sadler in the 15 car, and he did not get off to an exceptional good start.
Turn 4, Jeff Burton will lead the first time by as they are side by side for position back in the 6th spot. Again, a challenge by Todd Bodine.
Once again, he's trying Todd Bodine on the bottom of the racetrack. He just can't get enough grip to come off and get alongside Jeff Burton.
Kevin Grubb going by in the car number 37, a local product from just down the street here, about 8 miles away. And a good qualifying effort for the Rayovac efforts for Jason Jarrett, son of Dale Jarrett. Best qualifying effort ever in Busch Series competition, starting back in 6th position.
And we're riding on board the Ted Musgrave, the Channellock on board. And everyone talks about that. I talked in the garage here, this might be a dark horse for Victor tonight.
And how about the guy here? We're talking about the youngster, Kevin Harvick, at number 2, the AC Delco Chevrolet. He's battling with the veteran Mark Martin. You're right along with Mark's Winn-Dixie onboard roof camera. There's Harvick, a 2-time winner, right in front of him.
And you know that Kevin Harvick has to be pleased with himself and his race car and his team being able to pass Mark Martin, because not many guys in the Busch Series this year have passed Mark Martin.
Harvick just 23 points out of 2nd position. Trying to reel in Jason Keller in the point standings.
And Randy LaJoy alongside Ted Musgrave, the 82 car. As we get back in the fact, several cars side by side. There's Michael Waltrip in the 7 and Dick Trickle. The 52 car is Brandon Butler, another local driver here in the Richmond area that has gotten one of the Grubb cars and made the field.
Watching LaJoy and Musgrave. The 1 is LaJoy, the 82 is Musgrave. There's Elton Sawyer in the car number 98, the Lysol machine, still looking for his first win this year in the same car that he finished 2nd with up at Nazareth when he had his best run of the year. That's Lyndon Amick, who led laps at Darlington last week, giving Sawyer a run for his money.
Had a good qualifying run. Talking about Lyndon Amick, qualified in the 11th position, is still running back. He and, as a matter of fact, him, Elton Sawyer, are battling for that 10th spot right now, 10th and 11th. And there comes the run on board with Matt Kenseth. This is, as you see in his graphic, his 100th NASCAR Busch Series start.
Still side by side for position, back to the 10th spot. And how about our points leader? That's the car number 10 of Jeff Green, the guy everyone's been chasing all year long. Now he's chasing a position inside of our pole sitter, Todd Bodine. That is for the second position. He will take it away, and Harvick, Kevin Harvick, slides back up single file. Again, the car number 9, you just saw flash by. That's Jeff Burton. He is the leader. Our NorthernLight.com Ford Taurus showing the way. Then second spot is the number 10, the Nesquik Chevy for Jeff Green. Now a battle for third.
Kevin Harvick right now is trying to take that away from Todd Bodine. But when they come off the corners, you can't use the entire racetrack. The two-car can't let it drift up against the outside retaining wall. Then he's not able to run as quickly as he can when that takes place. So therefore, they just run along side by side. Makes it pretty interesting when it's down near the end of the races for the lead.
Wow. And that's the view that Mark Martin has. Of course, Martin, as you heard, winningest driver in NASCAR Busch Series history. 45 career victories. He watches these two guys go at it. Our Circuit City onboard telemetry will see exactly what kind of speed we're talking about around this D-shaped oval.
And watch as he goes down the front straightaway, and you'll see speed up to 142 miles per hour. Now, you'll not see that much down the backstretch because the front stretch, being the D-shape, it's much longer straightaway, and therefore much higher speed. There you saw only 134, 135. So 7-8 miles per hour difference in the front and back straightaway.
Now here's Kevin LePage in the Redman Chevrolet. A couple of Winston Cup veterans going at it. The 25 cars, Kenny Wallace driving for Ed Rincey up the Land Snack Chevy. They are battling for position.
And 16th, 17th, and behind them is Elliott Sadler.
And there's Mike Dillon in the car number 21, the Rockwell Automation Chevrolet, owned by Richard Childress. He was going by a moment ago, fourth position, now in 15th spot.
Kenseth is trying his best to get on the inside. That's Kenseth in the blue 17, trying to get on the inside of Jason Jarrett in the 11. Meanwhile, Randy LaJoy looking back from on board the back bumper of Matt Kenseth's cars. He gets by the 11, and now here comes Lyndon Amick.
Now from the one car, the Bob Evans Restaurant roof camera looking up forward from LaJoy's machine. Amick is side by side there with Jason Jarrett as they battle for the 9th spot. Jason Jarrett, a new crew chief this week. John Wolf has come over from the Kenny Schrader Winston Cup team. M&M's team, and boy, what a difference they came and tested. This is a whole different race team with that kind of leadership on board.
John Wolf has been around for a good while. And LaJoy is he wants to say to Amy, go on, Lyndon. If you don't, I'm going to have to make it 3 wide, and we get down the corner. That's going to be dangerous. Now we see Ted Musgrave, the 82, going by Elton Sawyer in the 98.
Jason Jarrett hanging tough on the outside, not giving up at all, Benny. That's not easy to do here.
No, he certainly isn't.
But I've waited for a car like this for a long time, trying to get my career jump started. Now I've got a good race car, and I'm not giving up. Talking about Jason Jarrett as now Amick goes by, and here comes the two-time Busch Series champion LaJoy to try to get on the inside of Jarrett, and we'll take the spot away.
And he quickly takes that spot. Whoa, here comes Jason Jarrett back a little bit.
Wow, we are in the early laps here at Richmond International Raceway of the 19th annual Autolite Fram 250. Jeff Burton is our leader with 20 laps complete. We'll be right back. Richmond International Raceway in Henrico County, Virginia. We are in the early laps of the NASCAR Busch Series Autolite Fram 250, and a little framming and bamming just a moment ago there. If you watch a Winston Cup veteran, the Band-Aid Chevy for Michael Waltrip, and Timmy Fedewa in the Stanley Chevy right behind him.
Now, these guys have got to get things going because they're back in 34th, 35th, 36th, and they realize that Jeff Burton is not that far behind them. So they've got to get going because they don't want to go a lap down earlier on because it just kind of kills the whole evening.
Yeah, it would make it sort of tough to be lapped in the first 40 laps of the race knowing you got 210 left to run.
You see, there's the leader coming, Jeff Burton, and followed closely by Jeff Green. They're in the same straightaway with those guys we saw a moment racing just a moment ago. And here comes Kevin Grubb. A great battle, great run for Grubb tonight. Take
Still there, clear.
Kevin, that fifth spot.
Kevin Grubb said earlier today it's the best race car there.
Spin in turn 4, back.
Heavy impact, bringing out caution for the first time today here in turn 4. The car number 12 involved.
And looks like the 0-1 car of Sterling Marlin is backed up against the fence.
So caution number 1 coming out on lap number 29.
Just waiting for traffic to clear so to see if his car will roll and see what might have happened as these cars came off turn 4. There we see Tony Raines in 33. He goes up, and gets in the left rear of Sterling Marlin, and around goes through. He nails the gas, and Spencer, I don't think Spencer hit anything. He actually stopped before he made contact with Sterling Marlin. He's on board with Sterling Marlin. Now listen. This is down the backstretch, I guess. Yes, now we're going in turn 3. Here's the contact. The left front hit and then the left rear.
And now we are under caution. Here's a 98 car down pit road. Unscheduled pit stop for Elton Sawyer. Ricky Vyers and their crew go to work. And let's go down to the pits, the Sawyer pits.
And he's giving up a lot of track position here, but I had just talked to Ricky Vyers, and basically Elton called in and said the car is loose. Now, I didn't think it was loose enough for him to come in and pit. Obviously, they did. Chassis adjustment and 4 tires. That's one of the 2 sets they get during this race. So Elton Sawyer's really going to have to make those tires last. His car must have been a lot worse than we thought.
Well, 350th start for Elton Sawyer. Still looking for that win, number 1. And as you said, Bill, going to be awfully tough now. 1 set of tires left at all for Elton Sawyer.
Of all the things kids thought.
As we are set for the green flag after the first caution of the day involving a spin by Sterling Marlin.
Break with the leader now. Exit outside. Green flag.
Barnwell, the spotter for Jeff Green, giving him all those instructions. And the white car on the inside is Jimmy Spencer. I guess when he stopped up there when the 0-1 car of Sterling Marlin crashed, the leaders came by and lapped him because the our scorer is showing him a lap down as he struggles to try to get by the 37. Now we see, we've got 3 wides of contact there between Mark Martin and Jimmy Spencer as Kevin Grubb goes by on the outside. Wow.
Kevin Grubb, I started to say a moment ago when the caution came out, said this is absolutely his favorite race car. This car is nicknamed Hunter, after David Hunter, who was a very, very close friend of car owner Clarence Brewer, who passed away this past year, and they named the car in David Hunter's memory. And they would love to get their first win this year with this race car very close to his Mechanicsville, Virginia home.
And now we see Mark Martin just moving over and letting a couple of cars go by. I wonder if Mark is on a tire management mode, trying to keep these tires on that Winn-Dixie Ford, because let's face it, there's 3 sets of tires to run 250 laps. They got to average about 80 laps per set.
And if you just joined us, Elton Sawyer pitted a moment ago under the first caution flag on lap number 30 and used one of his 2 sets.
So now he's got, we see a spin as Elton as Lyndon Amick, and we see Hornaday spin in the side of Lyndon Amick.
Caution now, turn 4. Got 2 cars sitting at the bottom of the track.
Well, caution coming out for the second time on lap number 39, the spin by Lyndon Amick. And the spin to try to avoid him by Ron Hornaday, who is 5th in points coming in, and pretty serious right side sheet metal damage on Hornaday's Chevrolet.
And a right rear tire is flat, so this car is certainly not going to drive like it has been driving.
Show you again what happened just a moment ago. Watch the 35 car right side of your screen.
He gets a hit from behind by Ted Musgrave, the 82 car. And around he goes, and here comes Hornaday on the bottom of the racetrack, and he just slams on the gas, tries to turn under the 35, and can't make it. He slides sideways, and you see Blaze Alexander going by on the inside.
Jimmy Johnson making a good move to get by on the high side again, looking back up toward the turn.
So I guess both those cars have seen better days. They're talking about the 35 and the 3.
Now looking back from the Visine bumper cam, there's the touch, and you see Amy's car go around.
Everything would have been okay, except Hornaday just tried to turn under it. Watch this. He tried to turn under the car, and he could not take it. Car spun as he tried to turn that quickly.
There's the contact again. Musgrave, the tap, Amick sideways, and watch the 3 car coming in the right side of your screen. A little too much momentum to get the car to turn, and boom, door to door. And it looks like Hornaday may have gotten the worst of that part as they have the car on pit road, and now Jerry Kennan and company beat some of the sheet metal away, and we continue to work caution number 2 on the night. For the green flag at Richmond International Raceway, and the battle is for second position.
Kevin Harvick, that 2 car, AC Delco car, trying to get on the inside of Jeff Green. Can't quite do it. And check out the 37. Check out Kevin Grubb having the race of his life tonight here in front of the hometown folks.
Black flag being shown to the car number 33, we're being told. Tony Raines will have to have a stop and go in the pits. And as you mentioned, Benny, great run by Kevin Grubb in the Timberwolf Chevrolet. The youngster, 22 years of age, nearby mechanics. Well, Clarence Brewer owns the car. What a job Terry Shirley and crew have done setting it up, as he is right now in 4th spot.
Randy LaJoy and Dave Blaney battling for the 7th and 8th position. Blaney had it, LaJoy wants it, and it's yet to be determined who's going to take it. And we see Musgrave on the inside of the 17 of Matt Kenseth right behind these guys. And Jason Jarrett hanging in there in the 11th spot in the 11th car.
And if you didn't hear earlier, the one driver, that's LaJoy, announced he will not be back with James Finch. He'll drive with Joe Nemechek and company next year. Here's a side-by-side battle. Our pole sitter, Todd Bodine, battling with the 60 car of Mark Martin.
And Mark is trying to take that spot away, and looks like he's going to. Well, this battle still rages between the 1 of LaJoy and Blaney in 20. And starts say LaJoy had it, but here comes Blaney back on the outside once again. And look at Grubb just pass, just push the 2 down in turn 1, and Grubb's on the inside. It's hard sled down there, Kevin.
Kevin Grubb now trying to take over the 3rd position from rookie Kevin Harvick. Pair of up-and-coming young drivers. Grubb is 22 years of age. Harvick is 24. Harvick, a 2-time winner at Gateway and Bristol. As you watch this side-by-side action continuing back for 7th position.
And finally, LaJoy takes over the spot.
Now back up to the battle for 3rd spot. I mentioned Kevin Grubb has won a pole. He won at Dover back in September 1998, but has never won a race. His best finish was 2nd at Dover on that day. Back in September of 98, his best finish this year, a 5th at Atlanta back in March.
Well, I said the race of his life, so obviously that was incorrect. I had forgotten about Dover and that great 2nd place finish there. Mark Martin seems to be closing in on these 2 guys. And look at Grubb. Harvick just finally said, go ahead, you're faster than I am, take the spot away.
Oh, maybe not. Now Grubb is gone by. Harvick's not pulling line.
Good drive, buddy, good drive.
Bogger's talking to Kevin Grubb, saying, it's time for you to get that first W. Here comes Harvick back on the inside, but Grubb will hold him off. As you said, Benny, now just a couple of car lengths back is this 60 car, the Winn-Dixie Ford, on the hunt.
See Mark Martin, our Circuit City telemetry. He used quite a bit of brake going in turn 3. Ooh, and look at Harvick wiggles. He came off the corner now. Mark Martin drives up on the outside, and looks like he'll take that spot away. And he does move Mark Martin up to 4 spots.
Mark Martin, 3 poles and 5 wins. 3 poles and 5 wins in just 9 starts this year. Making his final tour in the NASCAR Busch Series. They will have 3 more starts in Busch competition after tonight, and it'll be all over then for Mark Martin in Busch competition.
And Randy LaJoy, the 1 car, has gotten by our pole sitter, Todd Bodine. So LaJoy has moved up to the 6th position after starting in 12th. And here is a genuine mess right there.
A genuine recipe for a caution flag as Michael Wallace. I think I'll just hang on here a second. Here's Mike Wallace in the 77 car. Philip Morris in the 30 car. The Jordan Devitar on Little Trees car on the inside. Jimmy Fita was there.
And the 96 car is Mark McFarland, who qualified in the 15th position. Ooh, almost in contact on board with Jimmy Johnson. And Alltel on board as Fita blows up right on the back bumper, and that's up in the 25th position. Uh-oh, Fita's on the outside. They have a position on the outside now. That could be trouble. It is.
Fita was started back in the 39th spot, has now climbed to 24th position. Well, Todd Bodine was our pole sitter, got his 6th pole of the year earlier tonight, but Bill Weber right now, he's riding along in 8th position.
Yeah, Jerry, he's been slipping back through the field almost from the green flag, and the problem with his car is he cannot get it to turn in the corners. So they talked it over extensively during the first caution period. They're going to take 2 rounds of wedge out on the first stop, make an air pressure adjustment to try and get Todd moving forward in this field. Right now, he's trying to hang on to each and every position, and he's got some fast guys right behind him.
And Bill, speaking of fast guys, how about our points leader who goes by Jeff Burton to take the lead? So on lap 57, we'll come by, and the NASCAR Busch Series points leader, Jeff Green, becomes our next leader here tonight at the Autolite Fram 250. Back with more green flag action in just a moment. Welcome back to Richmond International Raceway. I'm Jerry Punch along with Benny Parsons, Bill Weber, and Ray Dunlap. Bringing you live NASCAR Busch Series action. There's the view from the yellow freight roof camera. As the car number 2, we are being told Kevin Harvick apparently developing a problem. Let's go down to Bill Weber.
It's just a brief check with the crew. They're obviously concerned, but they believe it is a motor problem. They could be going behind the wall, but right now they're watching Kevin, hoping that he can hang on out there. But obviously a problem at this point for Harvick.
Harvick can see some smoke out of the back of the car, which usually signifies engine problems.
And Harvick can get a double whammy here. He leads in the Rookie of the Year point standings for bestest Rookie of the Year points by just 17 points over Ron Hornaday. And he is just 23 points out of 2nd spot in the overall standings to Jason Kelly.
The 33 car of Tony Raines, he is several laps down, being shown 4 laps down as he got a pretty good race car. He goes by the 20 car of Dave Blaney. I wonder if it could be the left rear tire that's rubbing on the 2 cars. It just seems to do it when he goes into the corner and that soft left rear goes down.
Gets a little deflection. Let's check back in there, pitch with Bill Weber. Bill, how about it?
Guys, they think it might be that the car is leaking grease out of that rear end gear, so they could be leaking rear end grease.
Well, that doesn't sound good either.
No, it doesn't.
That'll be for a long time behind the wall to change that gear.
Anytime you lose fluids in these cars, that's not a good deal. And to see Todd Bodine has just lost another spot is Jay Sauter. A country farming car has taken over the 9th spot.
Pretty good battle back for 12th position with the 25 car. There's Kenny Wallace, and behind him is the 81 car, Blaze Alexander, and it's Jason Jarrett. They are 12th, 13th, and 14th. all on the lead lap. In fact, there are still 37 cars on the lead lap.
And Elton Sawyer, that 98 car, the Lysol car, remember, he made a pit stop, changed 4 tires, and a big chassis adjustment because his car was so loose. Well, he's fought his way back up to the 15th position. But all these other cars have two new sets of tires. He only has 1 more set of new tires.
And now he's running on Jason Jarrett. Jarrett, of course, has not been in the pits, and the fresh tires should tell the tale for Elton Sawyer in the Lysol Ford. Now to the inside.
Nobody behind him.
Potter's telling Jeff Green that they got a car on the inside of him, that being Mark Green, Jeff's older brother. And how about the Jeff Green car? Let's check in his pits with Ray Dunlap.
Well, Jerry, on Wednesday, Jeff Green turned 38, so he'd love to celebrate a birthday with a big victory here tonight. But tonight is also Jeff Green's 10th anniversary, not of his wedding, but of his Busch Series career. On September 8, 1990, Jeff ran his first ever race. It was right here at Richmond, and that was exactly 10 years ago tonight.
Wow, happy anniversary to Jeff as you ride along with Jeff Burton on the yellow freight roof cam. I'm sure Jeff Green would like to pick up his 6th win of the year. And second of the season here. He won from the pole here in the spring, but not in this car.
And right in front of him is Kyle Petty, and Mark McFarland about to go a lap down as we see David Green, the 31 of Mike Dillon, and there's Kevin LePage, Tim Fiedler. Let's see, that's back in the 16th position. They close in rapidly on the 11 car. Look, all of a sudden, Jason Jarrett is falling back from the 98 car a few car lengths. So could Jarrett be having a problem?
Jason Jarrett qualified 6th in the Rayovac Chevrolet. You watch LePage come up in the Redman machine, Redman Ford Taurus. Matrix Motorsports, the name of LePage's operation. He owns the car, along with Steve Plattenberger. There's David Green. You heard Benny talking about the FC Glass car, the 1994 Busch Series champion. In the 34 car, he's back in 17th position.
He started in 34, talking about David Green. There's LePage. He started in 21st.
And as you said, Benny, Jason Jarrett dropping back the car, just not getting off the corner at all, moving up across the racetrack, in danger now of losing that 17th spot.
And look at Randy LaJoie. The 1 car is closed in on the back bumper of Mark Martin. So LaJoie, the Bob Evans Restaurant Chevrolet, one of the best runs we've seen in the year.
He runs right up on him in the turn. We'll watch again as they go into turn 1. Now watch LaJoie just run right up on the inside of that Winn-Dixie Ford.
Well, Mark Martin ran on the bottom of the corner that time, as that's Bobby Hamilton right up in front of these cars. Hamilton is now a lap down.
How about Jimmy Spencer? You know Jimmy's not going to give up. He had the incident where he had to stop on the racetrack when another car spun, an Amick spun. He had been a lap down because of that situation, and now he is being shown back on the lead lap
in 21st position.
Well, way to go, Jimmy. That's Zippo Chevrolet for Jimmy Spencer.
And we're getting some reports that Jason Jarrett said his car is very, very tight. He can't get the car to turn in the corner. As Brandon Butler in the 52 car is trying to go by, and Spencer is trying to go between the two of them. Jimmy, it won't fit.
And Jimmy's not going to wait long. Here, I can make it fit. I can make it fit. Oh, baby.
Jimmy, I'm telling you, it won't fit. I'm telling you.
Well, not going to fit. Whoa.
Oh, man. Throw up Morris.
Turn 2. Got one up high against the wall. Up high. Up high. 3 cars coming.
Right in front of the leader, bringing out the 3rd caution flag tonight on lap 84 is Philip Morris. There comes Kyle Petty back by, trying to get back his lap back, and he will get his lap back.
And they're still crashing up in the corner. That's the 96 car of McFarland and Bobby Hamilton Jr. in 26.
Quiet. Just be quiet. And they was racing back.
Let's see if we can sort all this stuff out. Some pretty good damage to the 26 car of Hamilton Jr.
Indeed.
Right there's a 30 car. He just simply gets the car a little bit too high, gets out from under him, and he backs it in the fence over in turn 2. And there you see Michael Waltrip go by. And then, coming off turn 4, the 33 and 96 get together, and 26 has nowhere to go but right in the side of McFarland. The 33 was trying to run back to the line and get a lap back. Meanwhile, Ray Dunlap, here they come.
And Benny, Jeff Green is in. His car has been tight as well, and they're going to make a change on air pressure on the right front, and we also see there's going to be a wedge change. It's a quarter of a turn on the left rear right here for the 10. Now to Bill Weber.
This is a short track. Remember how tight pit road can be. We saw it in the Cup race here in the spring. Jeff Burton's car a little loose. They made a track bar adjustment. He's getting 4 tires. Left side's going on. Waiting on the left rear. The car's down. Burton meets everybody off of pit road.
It'll be Burton, then Harvick, then the Winn-Dixie car for Mark Martin. So different situations in the pits. So the 10 car was tight. They used air pressure and wedge. The 9 car was loose. They used a track bar.
And there's a tire. Oh, on pit road. Someone. And unfortunately, it has a number on the side that they will be able to tell whose tire it was.
Well, we worked caution for the 3rd time tonight. Coming out on lap number 84, a spin by Philip Morris initially, then a double spin. Mark McFarland and Bobby Hamilton Jr. Watch the spin right in front as Mark Martin's Winn-Dixie roof cam shows you the 33 and a 26 going sideways. Back in a moment. National Raceway in Henrico County, Virginia, under caution for the 3rd time tonight. Let's check in the pits once again with Ray.
Well, Jerry, I was just listening to Mark Martin as he and Jeff Burton talked over how their cars are on the radio, and Mark said, I don't think I'm going to be very good tonight, but that's usually bad news for the competition. They made a major chassis adjustment on this last pit stop as they brought the track bar up an entire inch, which takes 8 rounds on the track bar. Now, we saw Mark do the exact same thing 1 week ago at Darlington, and guess what happened there? Well, of course, he won. Bill?
Todd Bodine, the pole sitter, currently cruises around this track in 11th. A half-pound out of the right front. 2 rounds of wedge out to try and help him make that car turn. Elton Sawyer did not pit. He is your race leader. Green is out.
All right, guys, thanks a lot. We'll see if those adjustments will make a difference. We go back to the restart on lap number 90 of 250. After the 3rd caution flag of the night. And our the car number 98 is being shown as our leader. That is Elton Sawyer. There in the Lysol 4. There comes Elton.
And there comes Ron Hornaday in the 3 car. All these guys jumping on the 98, trying to get in front in case the caution comes out, get a lap back. Hornaday does it. Meanwhile, there comes Jeff Burton down on the inside of Jimmy Spencer. That's about it for the 2nd spot.
Burton is the 9 car. There's Burton on the inside. The 12 car, the Zippo Chevy, that is Spencer. The 2 car of Harvick that had, we have reported possibly some rear end fluid leaking. We don't see any smoke now from that car. He's holding on back in 4th position, now battling for 3rd.
The way this car is running, it certainly doesn't appear as though he has an engine problem. It just might have been as simple as a tire rubbing the fender back in the left rear. Now, Mark Martin trying to get on the inside of Spencer. Meanwhile, the 2 car goes by the 98 of Elton Sawyer. The 9 car, Jeff Burton, is the leader. Kevin Harvick, 2, is in 2nd spot. The 3 car of Hornaday is a lap down.
And he's being shown back in 37th position as you watch the battle now. Martin on the inside, the 60 car of Elton Sawyer. Pair of Fords side by side. And here again, the 9 car of Jeff Burton, the leader. Trying to... And here comes that car number 10 that was a leader a little while ago. Our points leader, Jeff Green. Now
Mark Martin's trying to go by Hornaday on the outside. does. Oh, and the 10 car just squeezes between Elton Sawyer and the 3, and here comes Kevin Grubb. Continue to have a great run going tonight.
Clarence Brewer car for Kevin Grubb, Timberwolf. Swedish match people got to be very, very excited about this young man's future. Grubb now being shown in the 5th position, following the points leader, Jeff Green, who's in 4th spot. Once again, the 98 car pitted back on lap number 30 after the first caution flag had come out for the day, and they changed tires, so they did not come in on this most recent flag. But everyone else came in and got fresh tires, so not bad for Elton Sawyer to be able to hang on right now, at least hang on to the top 10 spot.
And we see the left rear tire is flat on Mike Wallace's Lear automobile.
Pick the car up, guys. Got to pick the car up, baby. Got to pick the car up.
Kenseth gets by the 98 car, takes over spot. Here comes the 66. That puts Kenseth in the 6th position. Now 66 takes over the 7th position. Elton Sawyer back to 8.
And as you heard Bill Weber report, they made a significant chassis adjustment on the 66 car for Todd Bodine, who was our pole sitter. 2 rounds of wedge out, 1/2 pound of air pressure in the front. But Bodine reported the car would not turn, Benny, and apparently it's turning a whole lot better now.
Like it is. And Jimmy Spencer was up there just a moment ago, and he's already back to the 16th position, so it's obvious just how important that new, fresh tires are to the ability of the car getting around the racetrack.
Now, we showed you a moment ago that Mike Wallace had a flat left rear tire. See if we can see what might have happened there. Here's him in the 77 and Jason Leffler.
Right there, the 18 car gets in the left rear, and that just cuts that left rear tire down, and Mike Wallace really does a nice job not to spin.
Boy, did a heck of a job not to spin, not lose control of that car. And there's the car Benny was just talking about a moment ago, the 12 car of Spencer was running in 2nd spot, and now it continues to fall back, and we're getting reports that his car is very loose on the racetrack. Apparently those tires have just gone away.
And he has got a whole group of cars back just waiting for him to slip a little bit so they can all get miles. David Green was right on the inside. Can't make any progress. Tim Fiedler, Dick Tripp on the 5. Mike McLaughlin in 48. Jason Keller, 57. Hank Parker, 53. Man, what a group of cars. And right now, the 12 car of Jimmy Spencer really has them all jammed up, as Michael Walker thought about going in the middle of 2 cars. Lyndon Amick being one of them. Looks like Brandon Butler, the other one. Oh, some contact there between someone. All that left was a trail of smoke.
Final short track race of the year for the NASCAR Busch Series Grand National Division. There will be 6 events remaining after tonight in this 19th season as Jeff Green tries to hang on and get his first Busch Series title. There's David Green, his older brother, the 1994 champion, back in the car number 34 there in the middle of that pack.
See Mike Wallace in the middle of all this group. Here's Ted Musgrave, our channel lock onboard camera. Musgrave is now back in the 27th position. Phil Parsons on the inside, the Kingsford car. He's 26. Oh, Mikey got a little loose as he came off that corner.
All right, Kevin Grubb continuing that march toward the front. What a night for this youngster. Right now taking over the spot. He's in 4th position. And the guy they're chasing is Jeff Burton in the car number 9. We are past the 100-lap mark. Burton, Harvick, Green, Martin, and Grubb. Back in a moment. Well, back in Richmond. And there is a significant situation up in turn 4. It's what you might call it. There was about a half a dozen cars involved a moment ago, bringing out caution number 4 here on lap number 110. Casey Atwood and Tim Fiedler, the most seriously damaged. Let's show you again what happened just a moment ago as the cars were coming through turns 3 and 4.
All right, there we see the 36 car. Ooh, and I don't know what happened to the 82 car, but all of a sudden he goes sideways. That's Musgrave. He makes contact Michael Waltrip gets in the back of the 35. Here comes Casey in the left rear of the 82 car. The 82 car goes back down, gets his car going again. I guess that the 35 of Lyndon Amick got in the back of the 82, hit him and spun him, and he spun the 36. Is that what I think happened? Ooh, there's the contact from Casey Atwood.
Now from Jimmy Johnson's roof camera, watch in front of him, top of his windshield. See it all break loose. And now from our helicopter above, take a look at what happened again.
I believe that he got hit from behind by the 35 car. He spins, the 36 spins. Around goes the 35 of Lyndon Amick. Michael Waltrip barely gets by. And Casey Atwood, unfortunately, does not.
Boy, that was a huge break for Jimmy Spencer, being able to get on pit road and get some fresh rubber on his Zippo Chevy. Well, 112 laps are in the books. Jeff Burton is our leader. Back in a moment. The latest caution flag, Casey Atwood involved, Tim Fedewa, Lyndon Amick, Ted Musgrave, Michael Waltrip had a little bit of involvement. He'd be the sixth car, but he did not spin as we get set for the green flag.
And Jeff Burton continues to lead at 9, northernlight.com. Ford Taurus, the 2-car right behind him. Kevin Harvick would love to get up and lead this race because he'd love to have those 5 bonus points that it pays for leading. He can even dispose of Musgrave right now in the 82 car.
We told you at the top of our show as you watch this action that Jeff Green is a 604-point advantage, and then Jason Keller is just 23 points in front of Kevin Harvick. As you watch Harvick now pedaling for all these marks, trying to get to the inside. And now from the roof camera, from the channel lock roof camera from Musgrave, as you watch Jeff Green make a move to the outside.
And here we go, Harvick for the lead. Is he going to lead at the line? Yes, he is. He has those 5 bonus points.
And remember, Jason Keller has not led tonight, so that could be huge in Harvick's attempt to try to chase Keller down in the point standings.
And, man, Jeff Burton is running really, really high on the racetrack. He's really moved up the track to the very, very top. And that's one reason Harvick decided to drive down there. But meanwhile, here comes Jeff Green on the outside of Harvick trying to take over second. And look at Kevin Grubb. Once again, that 37 car.
A little bit of a touch there between the 2 and the 10. Better not look in your mirror, Jeff Green, because here comes that Timberwolf Chevy. So Burton the leader, then Green. Now it's Grubb in 3rd spot, and Harvick will follow back in 4th position. And just the back of your screen, you see Mark Martin just sort of sitting there. What would you call it, Benny?
Tire management. He's managing his tires right now.
He's riding, in other words.
He's riding, yes. But those guys better not forget that Mark Martin is in this race. Right behind comes Mike Wallace, the 77 car. Remember, he had that left rear tire go flat, so he's a couple of laps down, but has a fresher left side than these other cars, so maybe he can get back up in front of the leader, and caution comes out and get one of his lap back.
Looking back from Mark Martin's bumper cam. As he rides along in 5th position, there's the 17 car, the Visine Chevy for Matt Kenseth now making a move. Kenseth being shown in 6th position, right in front of Todd Bodine, who's in 7th.
Ooh, heavy crash.
Turn 1, wreck in turn 2, wreck in turn 2. Keep it low coming in, buddy. Keep it low coming in. Got 2 up against the wall.
Hank, forget about trying to start that one, Hank.
And a fire from in front of the 33 of Tony Raines, the defending Rookie of the Year, trying to get out of his Bill Bumgarner-owned car. Significant blaze there in front of Tony's machine. Tony climbing out. And the safety crews are trying to get across here. The cars are actually moving by the racetrack.
Man, that is...
And now the fire truck cuts through the field to get over to those to the burning car of 33. There's the fire truck trying to get across. Hank Parker tries to move away, and now the truck gets up there as the car continues to blaze.
What happens when they hit the wall on the right side? They knock the fuel pump off. Tony Raines is exhausted. He's been a pinball tonight. But you knock the fuel pump off the car, and I'm sure that's just gasoline that's siphoning out of the gas tank. out on the racetrack. And look at this mess.
Boy, heavy damage. The Rick Rathbun Team Marines Racing Chevrolet just ripped apart front and rear. Here again's what happened to bring out caution number 5.
Buckshot Jones was also involved in that crash. There you see when the fuel pump gets knocked off and the fire starts. With all that spark, there's no, I mean, all those sparks around there with those metal dragging the racetrack, there's no way to avoid the sparks. And when the fuel pump gets knocked off, the gasoline just siphons.
Boy, look at that car 53 trying to get back to Dave McCarty and the crew. And there's the fuel just running out from beneath. Part of that's fuel, probably part of it, maybe water from the radiator running out from beneath the car, and the firemen are there. They have extinguished that fire.
They need to bring some oil down there quickly and try to absorb that fluid that's coming out.
Yeah,
that's a good move.
Boy, look at the front of that car. What's left of that car number 33. They're going to need to use some Aleve on that one tonight.
Yeah.
Now, earlier tonight, Benny, we misidentified this car number 33 as actually being the cause of the 01 incident when Sterling Marlin hit the wall. We can show you what happened.
Well, what happened? The 33 did hit the 01, but I think that Jimmy Spencer right here is going to turn him into it. Right there. He makes contact with that right rear and turns the 33 into the Sterling Marlin car. I believe is what happened now, as we have the benefit of going back and looking at it on replay.
Well, there's Hank Parker Jr.'s Team Marines Chevrolet. Heavy damage, but the Marines never quit. They're swarming over that car to get him back in the race. Back in a moment. Now we work the caution, number 5. Today, an incident down in turns 1 and 2, a fiery incident involving Tony Raines and Hank Parker Jr. Take a look.
Right in front of the 00. Contact is made up in the wall. 00 goes up, catches the right rear, and there is the flame and the blaze in the 33 car, and it only gets worse. Tony quickly jumps out of the car, and Hank Parker Jr. really wisely, I was saying he should stay there, but pretty wise to drive away from that inferno. That's gasoline that's pouring out of a broken line, sighting out on the racetrack.
Plus, Hank Jr. is 13th in points, and he wanted to get that car back to the pits, and they're still working on that car behind the wall. Talking about Hank Parker Jr.'s cars, you see the cleanup now ongoing down in turns 1 and 2 for Tony Raines Chevrolet. Well, we work caution number 5 as we have 128 laps in the books. We are just past the halfway point, and Jeff Burton leads. Raceway NASCAR Winston Cup Series action coming your way tomorrow night from the place they call the Action Track. Beautiful 3/4 mile D-shaped oval and in Rico County, Virginia. Very wide racetrack. There's a look. You see the D-shaped part, the curved part of the D is the front straightaway, and the very straight part, the back of the D, is that back stretch.
And there you see the record on the very bottom of the screen, towing the 33 car, the Aleve Bayer car, back to the Busch Grand National garage area, and I would think that it's pretty much a mess. I was right.
Boy, what's left of that car. Tough break for Alan Russell, Bill Bumgarner, the whole team. Tony Raines, the defending Rookie of the Year. Ray Bestis Rookie of the Year for the NASCAR Busch Series. Won in 1999. We are showing 30 cars still on the lead lap. The last car on the lead lap will be the car number 15, Elliott Sadler.
And Elliott has made pit stop after pit stop. Every time the caution flag comes out, he spends a lot of time in the pit area trying to make some adjustments to the car. Of what I'm not really sure. They're not changing tires, they're just making adjustments on the car or trying to fix the problem.
While they continue the cleanup, we'll mention a couple of cars have been on and off pit road, including this one, Ron Hornaday, as they will make it. Looks like they've got a toe-in adjustment where Hornaday had some side-to-side impact with the car number 35. They'll come and make the adjustment, drop the jack, and Ron Hornaday, a 2-time winner this year, currently 5th in the points, heads back down pit road. By the way, Jeff Burton is our leader, and Jeff Burton is our pole sitter for Saturday night's NASCAR Winston Cup Chevrolet Monte Carlo 400. So congratulations to Jeff Burton. Been a pretty good Friday night in Richmond, Virginia thus far. Back with a green flag in a moment. Valley, Virginia, Richmond International Raceway. I'm Jerry Punch, along with Benny Parsons, Bill Weber, and Ray Dunlap. Glad to have you with us as we work caution number 5. Now, Benny, I've seen him rake racetracks. I've seen him sweep tracks. I've seen him blow tracks. But now they're going to vacuum the track up in turns 1 and 2.
They put all that oil dry down to try to soak up that gasoline. And how do you get rid of it? They got a big, huge vacuum cleaner that's going up there and vacuuming it off the ground.
Now, the car number 45 of Kyle Petty has been on and off pit road a number of times. Ray Dunlap, what's going on down there with Kyle and this Prince Chevy crew?
Well, Jerry, they think they may have a broken valve spring in the race car, and it's been running very, very flat. As he comes by on the front stretch, it has a very odd sound to the engine. But all of these cautions have been a big advantage for Kyle, because every time there's a caution, he's almost about to get lapped by the leader. So he's been able to stay on the lead lap, currently running 30th right now.
Kyle had his best finish in Busch competition, 5th at Nazareth back on July 16th. Of course, he's a winner here in the past in NASCAR's Winston Cup competition. He won drivers for the Wood Brothers back in the spring of 1986, and I was here doing that race, and what a special victory lane that was with him and the Wood Brothers.
That was quite a finish. Quite a finish with Earnhardt and Darrell Walker getting together, going in turn 3 that day.
Well, that was awesome, those last few laps, and so were the last laps here, as we have a great crowd on hand under beautiful clear skies, perfect racing temperature. We'll come back with a green flag in just a moment. Back at Richmond International Raceway under caution. Take a look at our Napa Field Summer. We are led by a pair of Jeffs, followed by a pair of Kevins, as Burton, Green, Grubb, and Harvick are in the top 5, and then Mark Martin just sitting back there waiting and watching for him to break out that big old Winn-Dixie whooping stick here late in the laps. And then Matt Kenseth is in 6th spot with Todd Bodine, Sauter, Wallace, and LaJoie rounding out the top 10.
Check out 16 through 30. All these cars on the lead lap. Mike McLaughlin, who took the provisional, is up to 16th position. Michael Waltrip's in 23rd. Mark Green, and here we see 31 through 43.
Well, we've had a number of incidents in the first 137 laps. Lap 28, an incident. Sterling Marlin gets a little bit of a tap. There's a 12 off the 33. If you're scoring at home, and the 01 goes to the wall. Then on lap 38, watch the 35 car up across the racetrack, and right at the top of your screen there's the 3 car spins for Hornaday, side-to-side contact. On lap 83 and 84, the 30 car, Philip Morris. 1 lap later, another incident involving Tony Raines. This time the 96 car involved McFarland and Bobby Hamilton Jr., an innocent victim. Then on lap 111, a half a dozen cars involved on a turn 4. Fedewa, Musgrave, you pick them out, they're all there. Amick is there going high. Michael Waltrip involved. And our last incident, lap 123, heavy contact. Fire erupts. Parker Jr. and Tony Raines again. And that's what put us under caution for the 5th time tonight, while we are getting ready to go back to green flag action.
Jeff Burton caught a break. Was able to get by the lap car. Bobby Hamilton Jr. enabled him to get about a 10-15 car length advantage on Jeff Green, but Green finally gets by. Ooh, and Grubb trying to go by Green on the outside. Did he make contact with the outside wall? Maybe not, but it was close.
Kevin Grubb in the 37 car in 3rd spot. Then comes Harvick in the 2 car, then the 60 car of Martin, then Kenseth, then Todd Bodine.
00 car, the Cheez-It car. Buckshot Jones is 1 lap down.
There's Todd Bodine, who was our pole sitter tonight. His 6th career Busch Series pole. Bud Pole is NASCAR Busch Series. Currently being shown in the 7th position.
And look at Mike Wallace drive under these cars, both of them, and get by them all. Good move down the backstretch by Mike Wallace.
Mike is 2 laps down, being shown in 35th position. Now, we saw Tony Raines involved in that serious incident a moment ago when the fire erupted. How about Tony, Ray?
Well, Jerry, Tony is just fine, but they just brought him out of the infield care center, and they put him in an ambulance. They're going to transport him to Meadowbrook Hospital because they think he may have broken his scapula because his belts were real tight. He said he's complaining that his right shoulder is very sore, but he's sitting up, and they're walking out. He said, I don't need to go to the hospital, but the doctor said we might want to take it there and have you get an x-ray.
Well, better safe than sorry. Scapula being that right shoulder blade where the car went up against the wall. Normally you bang it against the edge of that seat, and You can break off the tip of the scapula.
Oh, Phil Parsons, heavy contact with the inside wall on the backstretch. And still no caution flag, but they might as well throw it because he isn't going anywhere.
And now Matt Abernathy will indeed wave the caution for the 6th time tonight. Oh, heavy contact for Phil Parsons. Had a great run at Darlington. Put himself in the top 10 in the point standings. And now the Kingsford Chevrolet for Tad Geschecter and company will head back to pit road. And Benny, I'm not sure that one's fixable.
Sure doesn't look that way, Jerry.
Oh, heavens.
I see some damage back in the right rear. I don't know if that was from this incident or happened earlier.
There's the spin, and you saw the contact against the concrete on the inside, almost head on.
So now I know what happened to the right rear, because after the front hit, it spun around the right rear, got in the inside wall as well.
There's 43-year-old Phil Parsons, a 2-time winner in NASCAR's Busch Series. His last win coming in Charlotte back in the spring of 1994 at Lowe's Motor Speedway. His best finish here had been a 4th back in the spring of 97. Again, his best finish of the year, a 5th at Pikes Peak, which we did back in July. Now on the pit road, probably for the final time under caution tonight. He only has 1 set of tires left, Elton Sawyer.
I wonder if pit road is open or closed. There's Phil Parsons looking at the damage. And pit road is closed, but I think the penalty is you go to the end of the longest line. So Brandon Butler, the 52 car, also taking advantage of this caution flag to change 4 tires. Dick Trickle is in.
And that's where these cars would have lined up anyway, because they are on the lead lap, and so they would have been at the very last of that lead lap car. So why not come in and make the pit stop?
Might as well. Kyle Petty does the same thing in the 45, the sprint car.
We are just about 100 laps away from the checkered flag. We are showing lap 148 in the books of 250 as they come by. We're actually working lap 148, and Jeff Burton is our leader. There have been 4 leaders: Burton, Green, Sawyer, and Kevin Harvick. Back in a moment. Raceway here in Henrico County, Virginia, as we are in the final 100 laps of the NASCAR Busch Series Autolite Fram 250. Phil Parsons, heavy impact, brought out the latest caution flag. Let's talk to him, Ray.
Well, Phil, it appears an awful lot of damage to your race car. It was a pretty tough hit you took out there.
Yeah, it was. I've been a little bit loose up off the corner the whole night, and the Kingsford guys have been working on it, made it a lot better, and I just got away from me coming off, too, got sideways, and it never would catch and straightened back out, and it went around and hit the inside wall pretty hard. I really hate it. We guys been working on the car. We're making it better. We're still in the lead lap, still in contention. Better than a lot of the cars I think that were running ahead of us, but I screwed up, and it's not going to be tonight.
I assume you're all done?
Yeah, I probably, but I'm not sure. We'll have to get back and look at it.
Okay, off to the garage goes Phil Parsons and the 59 team.
Boy, tough break for Phil. 10th in the point standings coming into the night with just 7 events remaining, 6 after tonight. Trying to get a top 10. Here again's what happened just to Phil a moment ago, Benny.
And we see the Teddy just got it loose off turn 2, could not get in our control, and he goes down, slides down, and just smacks the inside wall with the, you see the steam out of the front. That is the radiator being broken, leaking water.
All right, we'll come back for more green flag racing action as we continue to work caution number 6, and track cleanup continues at Richmond. Our Napa field summary shows you that Jeff Burton is our leader, followed by Jeff Green, the points leader. Kevin Grubb having a great run tonight in the Timberwolf Chevy for Clarence Brewer. Kevin Harvick back in 4th spot. Mark Martin is sitting there watching and waiting. There's Matt Kenseth in 6th. Todd Bodine, Salter, Wallace, LaJoy in the top 10.
That got 16 through 30. Mike McLaughlin, who started 40th, leads that group. Jason Leffler, another car, also took a provisional, is in 17th. Jimmy Spencer has fought his way back to the 20th position. Jason Jarrett being shown in 23rd. Elliott Sadler in 15th. Mark Green, the last car on the lead lap. And a lot of these cars, including Jason Jarrett, have made pit stops during this caution flag.
Now, coming into the night, the rookie points were pretty doggone tight. Harvick had a 17-point lead over Ron Hornaday. And as of now, you take a look at it, there's Harvick and Hornaday. Hornaday's had his troubles tonight thus far, being involved in an incident very early on. He's being shown back in 33rd position. Jay Sauter, who finished 4th at Daytona to begin the year, driving for Mike Herb and Kerry Agajanian. Quality Farm and Country car back in 3rd spot in the rookie points. Jimmy Johnson had 2 6th-place finishes this year. Had tough luck at Darlington, cost him a top 10 in the points.
And this is Jeff Burton, our yellow freight onboard camera, our leader, as he looks back at Jeff Green, the Nesquik Chevrolet. As you see the lights out atop the Pontiac safety car. Green flag to be shown to these cars as they come off turn 4.
Green flag, green flag.
Hornaday squeezes in between 2 cars, tries to go 3 wide. And once again, the 9 car, Jeff Bird, gets the advantage of squirting out in front of a lap car.
And we are told they are going to black flag the 1-5, the 15 car. That is Elliott Sadler. We presume that has to do with the restart here just a moment ago.
He was supposed to start at the tail end of the field because he pitted when the caution, when the pit road was not open. And the penalty is you got to go back to the end of the longest line, and I guess Elliott did not do that. He thought they would forget it, but they didn't.
They got long memories.
Long memories. See Todd Bodine trying to drive under Matt Kenseth.
That would be for the 6th position. Jeff Burton is our leader. He's led 3 times for 123 laps thus far tonight. There have been 6 lead changes among 4 different drivers.
Mark Martin trying to get by the lap car of Ted Musgrave. Musgrave had a pretty good run going. As a matter of fact, some of his crew members down there thought that they had a chance to win this Autolite Fram 250 tonight, but he was involved in that spin off turn 4 and is now being shown 31st, 1 lap down.
He gave this car a great ride up in Bristol, Tennessee a few weeks ago on a Friday night NASCAR Busch Series event.
Now there is all those 4 of those cars, all 4 of them are battling for position. Todd Bodine, 66. Matt Kenseth, 17. We're riding on board with Randy LaJoie, the 1 car. And there's a 43 car as well. Jay Sauter's in that mix.
That is 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th that you're riding along with LaJoie, who's currently in 10th position. 2-time NASCAR Busch Series champion, pulling up on the Quality Farm and Country Chevy for Jay Sauter, rookie driver. Coming up out of the Truck Series, NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
And LaJoie was really, really strong to begin with, but now he's back in the 10th spot. Can't seem to fight his way by these cars. Of course, these cars are running pretty doggone fast.
Now Kenny Wallace will take the spot away from Kenseth. That is the 7th position. So Wallace is 7th, Kenseth 8th, Jay Sauter 9th, and LaJoie still in 10th. Kenseth, a 2-time winner this year in NASCAR Busch competition. He won the opening one this year at Daytona and also won out of California.
And another crash on the front straightaway, and Hornaday has made some heavy contact with the right front and has knocked the fuel pump off. And once more, we see some flame out. Ron, if I were you, I think I'd stop and get out. Now would be a good time to stop and get out, or drive to a fire truck somewhere back there.
Well, he's still rolling along. Fire truck's coming toward him. He's trying to get unbuckled. You see him inside trying to get his belts undone. Heavy damage, fuel from underneath the car. There's flames in the front and the rear of the car. Now he's trying to pull his way out as you watch him get out of a smoke-filled window. And now Ron Hornaday, the 2-time Truck Series champion, out of a car, and the safety crews are there to put the flame out.
Man, these things are... We're seeing more flames tonight than we have in a long, long time. And once again, when these cars make contact, the fuel pump sits right against the frame rail on the right front. And all the cars, they've decided they're going to make that final pit stop with about 80 laps to go. Ray Dunlap.
Well, Benny, Jeff Green has been tight in the center, so they are going to make a little bit of a chassis change here and see if he is able to do anything with Jeff Burton here. 4 tires on this pit stop. I said earlier tonight I thought it would be 2 tires. Now to Jeff
Jeff Burton's race car has been just about perfect, just a little bit loose. This should be routine, 4 tires and fuel. He hopes to get back out as the race leader. Left side's going on. Todd Bodine in the pit in front of him. Burton's on his way, just edges out the 10, then the 2.
All right, the die has been cast. The tire rolling across pit road right in front of the one car who just misses that tire.
Looks like that might have come off the 20 car. Oh, yeah, one of his crew members running across pit road to try to get the tire.
Here again, the incident that brought out caution number 7, the 96 car, McFarland. Watch him just smack that concrete wall. You see Hornaday now zipping around on the inside. Heavy flames and fire from beneath the front of his Napa Chevrolet.
On board, there's a 96 car, McFarland. And Hornaday did not realize that McFarland was out there. See the Napa stickers? Oh, I got a little warm and decided to leave there. I don't blame that sticker. I'd have left as well.
A little bit of heat beneath that rear bumper, melting that bumper, and the sticker just peels away. But fortunately, the good news, Ron Hornaday climbed out okay. They got the fire out, and he will race again the final 6 events. Caution number 7. What a night. What a night at Richmond International Raceway. We are just about 83 laps away from the checkered flag. Back with more in a moment. Virginia Richmond International Raceway, our NASCAR Busch Series action as we are now inside of 85 laps to go. In fact, that last pit stop where all the leaders came in was with 85 to go. So we'll see what can happen as we get set for the restart here and the final portion of the 19th running of the Autolite Fram 250.
And you remember, Jerry, back in the spring, at the same situation, about 80 laps to go, and all the cars came down pit road, and Mark Martin stayed out there and said, man, that's too early to be pitting to make that final pit stop. He wanted to do it with about 50 laps to go. He did, but unfortunately, all those other cars stayed on the racetrack, and Mark could never find his way back to the cars and finish 4th that day.
And if you're just joining us, the caution flag a moment ago, the incident involving Ron Hornaday really going to hurt him in the rookie point situation. He came in just 18 points back and 5th overall in the standings, but 18 points back behind Kevin Harvick, and he has called it a night. A lot of great history over the years, Vinny, in the NASCAR Busch Series, and I am told that sometime next year, early next year, they're going to put out, if you're a history buff, the history of the NASCAR Busch Series written by acclaimed Busch Series writer Rick Houston. Some of the best pictures about the history of the series, Sam Ard and Jack Ingram and Tommy Ellis, all the greats in the early years, over 270 photographs, the history of the Busch Series. It'll be called Second to None. And that's going to be an awesome text. Let's go down to Ray.
Well, we've seen a great deal of fire tonight, Ron. I know you didn't want to see any fire. It got awfully close. Are you all right?
I'm fine. I just feel sorry for these guys, man. I wrecked the car. Landon got crossed up. I got into him and bent the whole front end. The guys have been working their guts out trying to get it right. And, we made a change to get the front end straight. It just kept grabbing and get tighter and tighter, and it flopped the front tire over. And I don't know if I came up to 96 or whatever, but we were laps down, and we deserve what we get, I guess. I mean, that's a brand new race car. These guys, it's my favorite car. It's Stepchild Jr. won a lot of races. We had a great car, so I don't know. It's not what we expected right now, but we're pretty excited. I mean, we're got some momentum going. We think we've got something up our sleeves, but we haven't figured it out yet. I mean, we just haven't put it on the racetrack. So we're doing all right. These guys are working their guts out.
Okay. The 3-car struggled a good bit all weekend, and certainly done for the day.
All right, right now, the 12 car, the Zippo car, Jimmy Spencer is the leader. The 48 car, McLaughlin in second spot.
Green flag, green flag.
The cars that we've been seeing lead, Jeff Burton is now back in the 8th position. See if he can find his way back through these cars.
Once again, all the leaders came on the pit road for what would be their final tire change of the day. Heavy contact, some pushing and shoving back in the field. Kevin Harvick back there with Mark Green. They go 3 wide and now sorted out in turns 3 and 4.
Cars that you see, the 82, the 77 of Mike Wallace, 00, trying to stay in front of the 12 car, and if there is a caution flag, get a lap back.
Mr. Excitement, Jimmy Spencer showing the way here in Richmond. In the car number 12, the Zippo Chevrolet. There's the gaggle of cars behind him. There comes the car number 9 of Jeff Burton. Behind him is the 10 of Jeff Green. Todd Bodine is there, the 66 on the inside. Heavy traffic here on the restart. Our yellow freight bumper cam from Jeff Burton looking back at the Nesbitt Chevrolet.
And we see Dick Trickle in the middle, 3 wide. Burton on the outside, Brandon Butler. Burton on the outside, Brandon Butler on the inside in the 52 car. Oh, and Jeff Green, the points leader, is a 3 wide on the outside.
And there's Kevin Harvick, who got by Mark Martin in the car number 16. Harvick now trying to battle his way toward the front. There's Kevin Grubb. He's been running in the top 5 all night long in that 37 car. He will look to the inside of Todd Bodine. Now, what about Kevin Harvick's situation? We followed his progress all night long. They thought they had a problem. They didn't have a problem. What about it, Joe Weber?
They don't know, Jerry. They're down here scratching their heads, and they're a lot smarter than I am. But when he pitted after the first time he had that smoke, there was no unusual tire wear and no fluid on their pit stall on the ground. So they don't know what the problem was, just that it's gone and the car is fast.
And look at Mark Martin. He just got by Kevin Grubb, the 37. He's going by the 48 of Mike McLaughlin. And Matt Kenseth is back in heavy, heavy traffic.
And Jimmy Spencer is just mired. Those are cars that are trying to stay on the lead lap, except for the 77 car. Well, actually, the 77 car is on the lead lap. So Mike Wallace has gotten back there, all trying to stay on the tail end of the lead lap. And now Spencer on the inside of Buckshot Jones. Got very loose, trying to pinch the car down and stay on the inside so he wouldn't get up there and rub Buckshot. Circuit City onboard telemetry on Ted Musgrave's Channelwalk Chevrolet.
3 wide, the leader's on the inside, and Mike Wallace backs out. And here comes the 9 car of Jeff Burton on the outside of Mike Wallace. Ooh, couldn't quite make it. And here comes the Elton Sawyer 98 car. That's a battle for the 2nd spot. And Jeff Burton looks like, oh no. Mike Wallace comes up and almost gets into the Jeff Burton. Here comes Elton Sawyer on the inside.
Now Mike Wallace is a lap down and back in 31st position. And Burton is trying to get up there and race the leader for the lead. The 12 car is the leader. Now Wallace, I should say Burton will try it high. Mike Wallace is there. Right behind Jeff Burton, as you mentioned a moment ago, is the 98 of Elton Sawyer, but he's getting a challenge now from the 10 car.
There he is, Jeff Green on the inside of Elton Sawyer. And looks like he's going to take that spot away and move into 3rd spot.
How about another green there? David Green getting passed by Todd Bodine, 4th position. David Green having a good run. He was back in the 5th spot, now being back in 6th position, now being shown back in 6th position. Meanwhile, back up front, side by side, the 82 and the 00. On the tail end of the lead lap, Musgrave in the 82, Buckshot the 00, and here's the leader. Jimmy Smith says, come on, guys, I need some way to get by. Of course, they're running pretty well.
They're running pretty well, and they need to stay out there in case there is a caution flag, because we've seen a lot of caution flags tonight, and as close as they're running, it's almost guaranteed we'll see another one.
Spencer getting a challenge now on the inside from Jeff Burton. Fresh tires for Burton. NorthernLight.com Ford, and right behind Burton is our points leader, the Nesquik Chevrolet for Jeff Green. Still door-to-door in turn 3.
Boy, Spencer's keeping that 9 car down as low as he can on the racetrack, not letting that 9 car move up and confuse the entire racetrack. Burton inches ahead, but still watch out close. The 12 car keeps the 9 car right on the bottom of the racetrack. And here comes the 66 car on the inside of Jeff Green. Mike Walsh trying to go by on the outside.
Still 3 wide.
They are 2 by 2 by 2. The leaders of the 9 and the 12 car. And they touch, they bump, they touch again.
Well, Jeff Burton is trying to move the 12 car up to get some racetrack, but Jimmy Spencer does not want any part of that. He wants to keep him as close to the yellow line as he can.
Now Burton by about a half a fender. Here comes Spencer battling back. Jimmy's not going to give up. No way, shape, or form will Jimmy give up the short track ace, the former NASCAR modified champion, and now Burton got him, and here comes a challenge on the inside of Spencer by Jeff Green for 2nd position.
Spencer is probably going to give the 10 car a little bit more room than he gave Jeff Burton, because if you can't win, there's really not that. You don't have to do it for second spot just for the victory. As Jeff Green easily and quickly moves by Jimmy Spencer as Todd Bodine tries to get on the inside.
Now there's the battle behind Jeff Burton. He's still trying to get him out of these cars here in front of him. As Burton now moves around Buckshot and will try to make a move on Musgrave. One of the rear window straps has been upward and flying on the back of the 12 car. That's the Spencer car. You can sort of see it sticking up in the air.
And Mark Martin, the Winn-Dixie car, he sees the 00 there. He decides to follow Jimmy Spencer on the outside of Buckshot.
It'll be 60 laps to go next time by in the final short track slugfest of the year in the NASCAR Busch Series Grand National Division. And what a way to go out for the year 2000 on the short tracks. They have bumped, they have rubbed, they have pushed, and they have shoved. And it's not over yet, folks.
Now we see Matt Kenseth, the 17 car, the 71 car. Dick Trickle's in there. Jay Sauter. Here comes Kevin Harvick and Jeff Purvis.
These are all lead lap cars being shown in 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th. The 71 car of LePage, the Red Man Ford, is in 11th spot. The battle now side by side for 12th position between Kenseth and Trickle. Now Kenseth will have it, or actually almost have it on the inside.
Kevin Grubb, the 37. They were 3 abreast for just a second as Kenny Wallace goes by in the last car at 25. And Elton Sawyer, these fresh tires that these other cars have, he just can't quite keep up. And once again, on 3 wide. Oh, Jay Sauter wisely backs out going in turn 3.
Okay, gives Matt Kenseth some room on the inside of the racetrack. Here goes Harvick by. Now Harvick and Sauter battling side by side. That is for 14th spot. Action all around this racetrack, and we still have over 50 laps to go.
All right, now Mark Martin just got by Jimmy Spencer, and he struggled to do it. And that just might, Jerry, cost him the race, because he had to use his tires a little bit more than he wanted to get by Jimmy Spencer, and now he's about 3 seconds behind Jeff Burton. Can Mark Martin chase him down? It's going to be hard to do.
Well, there's the guy they're chasing, Jeff Burton, who won here in 1998. Mark Martin is one of the guys chasing. He's a 5-time Richmond winner. The final 50 laps from Richmond International Raceway when we come back. Well, back for the final 50 laps of NASCAR Busch Series short track action of the year. Final 6 events will be on Speedway, so we watch side-by-side action here. Kenny Wallace, the 25 car, on the inside of Jimmy Spencer. They are for position.
That's battling for the 6th position. Jimmy Spencer has decided to stay out. Remember, all these other cars pitted, and now he's suffering. He was the leader just a few laps ago. Now he goes back to the 7th spot.
Kenny Wallace, the former 2-time Busch Series most popular driver. Pretty good battle back here, Benny, for position between the 11th, 12th, and 13th place cars. Dick Trickle in the 5 car, the Snyder Rookie car. Pretty good battle, pretty good shoving match a moment ago between he and the 17 car, the Vising Chevy of Matt Kenseth.
Kenseth just almost lifted the rear wheels off Dick Trickle on turn 2 as he came off the corner, had a run. Meanwhile, here comes Jay Sauter and the 1 and the 2.
And a 1 and a 2. That's side by side.
And a 52. Brandon Butler is currently in the 14th position. At 14th, 15th, 16th, and 17th, 18th.
Good run from Brandon Butler.
Terrific run. Meanwhile, he's got company on the outside. Kevin Harvick.
And there is the blue car, the 57 car of Jason Keller. We haven't had much chance to talk about Jason tonight, but he is second in points. 600 points behind his teammate Jeff Green, but most importantly, he was only 23 points ahead of a challenging Kevin Harvick when the night began. Very tight points battle, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Matter of fact, he's racing with Kevin Harvick right now, about to take that spot away, or trying to, as Harvick gets caught up behind the last car of Lyndon Amy.
And for you Hank Parker Jr. fans, you Team Marines fans, Mark Parker, they got the car repaired enough for it to make a few laps. Now they have officially retired the car back to the garage area here on lap 206.
Brandon Butler gets by the 98 car, and Randy LaJoie also gets by. And all of a sudden, the 57 car is getting a challenge from Mike Dillon, that red-white Rockwell car. So Harvick would love to see that. So that's extra points that he would be able to gain as the cars get in front of 57. Now here comes Blaze Alexander. Oh, they're going 3 wide.
And remember, Kevin Harvick did indeed lead a single lap. There have been 5 leaders, 8 lead changes. Mike Dillon getting a little bit racy in the Rockwell Automation machine. Now he and Harvick are teammates. They're both owned by Richard Childress Racing. As now Dillon comes up on the inside of Jason Keller.
Dillon had that spot a moment ago, but now Jason Keller is fighting, struggling on the outside. Michael Walter trying to join that group. He's currently in the 20th position. Jason Leffler back in 21st, the MBNA car. He tries to join his entire group of cars. Boy, that, folks, this is some serious racing right here. It's a shame it isn't for the lead, because this is just about as good as it gets. Oh, 3 wide.
3 wide on the short track. Final short track of the year for the NASCAR Busch Series. Not really a short track, more of a short speedway.
3/4 mile, Richmond International Raceway. And Elton Sawyer, that 98 car. Look at Jason Keller trying to drive down on the inside of the 21.
See their brakes blowing as they jump on that brake pedal into the corner. A big bright red brake rotor you see is a moment ago some of those cars diving in turn 1.
Now Randy LaJoie has caught the 52 car. Brandon Butler just takes that spot away as Jay Sauter, he tries to chase him down. 43 car, Quality Farm and Country is up in the 12th position.
And now with LaJoie, the onboard Bob Evans restaurant camera. With the hood bobbing up and down a little bit there. The wind and the breeze whipping that hood as he moves to the inside of Musgrave. And now you can just see him set his sights on Jay Sauter, but he can't hold a position.
We'll go back a little bit to the Jason Leffler car. Elton Sawyer and Jeff Purvis, another car who has been running so well lately in the NASCAR Busch Series. Had to take the provisional, started in 37th position, and is being shown now in 22nd.
Purvis, a former winner here. He won from the pole back in 1996. Has finished second 3 times this year in the Porter Cable Pontiac for Joe Gibbs. Now battling on the inside of the Ford of Elton Sawyer.
And folks, remember, Elton Sawyer made that tire change early on, about 40 laps into the race. He is right now really suffering the consequences of that. He is using 2 sets of tires. He's out there on worn tires. Doesn't have any more. And here we are with 35 laps to go, and he's falling back, and not anything you can do about it.
So Sawyer being shown now back in 21st position. As we have 26 cars still on the lead lap. Mike McLaughlin, the final car on the lead lap in 26 spots. Well, the final 30 laps possibly setting up here. There's the guy they're chasing, the NorthernLight.com Ford. Tommy Morgan calling his shot for Jeff Burton, who's showing the way with 30 to go.
Jeff Burton still continues to lead the NorthernLight.com Ford Taurus, and he has just under 1 second lead on Jeff Green. Jeff Green is not letting him get away. These guys have pulled out to over 4-second lead on the third place car, Todd Bodine, but Jeff Green's keeping that 9 car in his sights as Randy LaJoie finally gets by the 43 car and moves into the 12th position.
Now Kevin Harvick continuing to slug his way back in the field there. The car number 2 being shown back in 19th position. As you watch this battle, we'll tell you, Mike McLaughlin fans, he's making a pit stop with 25 laps to go. Mike was the last car on the lead lap, has now gone a lap down, as we had just 23 cars on the lead lap. Dave Blaney, the final car, still being shown.
Kevin Harvick, who ran so well earlier on in that AC Delco Chevrolet, seems to be struggling now. He's fallen back to the 20th position.
And what a night for Kevin Grubb.
Man, he has had just a terrific night. This car, the 37 car, we're talking about the Timberwolf car, has run just terrific tonight.
Clarence and Tammy Brewer are going to be awfully proud of this young man. 22 years of age. Terry Shirley dialed the car in. His favorite car, nicknamed Hunter. It's the car they had an accident with here in the spring. They repaired it. It had not been on the, had not been on the racetrack since that race here in the spring. And he said it's absolutely the best car I've ever had, and he's driving like it.
He certainly is. Meanwhile, Kenny Wallace at Lance car, the 25 car, in 6th spot. Kenny Wallace also gets around this racetrack very, very well. Jeff Burton still continues to lead.
And looking back off that yellow freight bumper cam, we're riding along with Jeff Burton, our leader, who's led 175 laps. The cars behind him, every one of them's got fenders buckled in and quarter panels creased and bumpers hanging off. That's typical short track Busch action.
That was Bobby Hamilton Jr. that you saw with that refugee from a junkyard, the 26 car.
And how about the fact that the 98 and the 2 car, Elton Sawyer and Kevin Harvick, could go a lap down here. They're the last cars in the lead lap with 20 laps to go. There is the 98 car going a lap down now to Jeff Burton, and here comes Harvick. He's the next candidate on the 1 lap down mark.
And I'm telling you, all of a sudden the 2 car just has gone away. Jeff Burton seems to drive under these cars and get by them on the bottom of the racetrack fairly easy.
We talked about how Rusty Wallace could drive a Ford Pinto at Bristol and probably win. He's just that good at that racetrack. Jeff Burton is just awfully darn good here. He's great in the Busch car. He's on the pole for the NASCAR Winter Cup event on Saturday night. He loves this track, and this track is awfully good to him.
Yes, it is. And also, he grew up in South Boston, Virginia, just down the road about 100 miles. He's still running extremely high on the racetrack, trying to get a grip. All of a sudden, I'm told that Dick Trickle, the 5 car, may have a problem. He was running in 10th position.
Dick Trickle, a 2-time winner in Busch competition, driving the Snyder Trucking Chevrolet, owned by Jimmy Spencer, by the way. Dick's last win came at Darlington back in September of 1998. Car slipping and sliding a little bit up across the racetrack.
But now it doesn't appear that somebody might have a flat tire or anything. It doesn't appear that that's happening now.
All right, 7th and 8th spot is up for grabs. There is the car number 12 of Jimmy Spencer, the Zippo Chevy. Here comes David Green.
David Green, he started back in 34th position. He's trying to take over the 7th spot, so he has had a very, very good night here at Richmond International Raceway.
Boy, give a call to Dave, as a former Busch Series champion, trying to get a good top 10 finish. They move in on Casey Atwood, the car number 27, the Castrol Chevy, to put him, actually he's already being shown 6 laps down in 34th position.
We saw Casey Atwood in the Castrol car involved in the crash, and you saw the damage to the left front fender. Well, that's the good news, because the bad news is he crashed the car in practice this morning, and this is the second car that he's used today.
So they already have one covered up back in the Busch garage that they're going to have to repair. Now here's a battle where Mark Martin is starting to reel in, or trying to reel in, Todd Bodine. He just joined us. Todd Bodine was our pole sitter. He's being shown in third place. That's the 66 car, the white car there, left side of your screen. That's Bodine, riding along with Mark Martin back in fourth position.
And meanwhile, this battle is going on over 5 seconds behind the leader, Jeff Burton. But it looks like the 37 car, Kevin Grubb and Kenny Wallace, the 25, is catching Mark Martin.
Well, it'll be 11 laps to go next time by. There's Jimmy Johnson's car as Kevin Grubb tries to work to the inside of him. There's the Timberwolf colors. Mechanicsville, Virginia, as the crow flies about 9 miles from this racetrack. Kevin and Wayne Grubb, the brothers. Kevin the younger of the two, age 22. Wayne's 24 years of age. What a run tonight. They'll get 10 laps to go. That signal next time by from flagman Matt Abernathy.
All right, Matt Kenseth back in the 9th position. All this is a battle for position, 7th, 8th, and 9th. David Green certainly don't want to give up a position in the last 10 laps.
Kansas slides up, and Green is still there. David Green battles back on the outside. 9 laps to go. Final short track event of the year for the NASCAR Busch Series Grand National Division. And these fans have not been disappointed. Side-by-side battles all over this racetrack. We mentioned that Jeff Burton is the leader. Jeff Green's in second. Todd Bodine is third. Mark Martin fourth, and Kevin Grubb is fifth. Right along with Matt Kenseth, who's being shown back in 9th spot, looking back at David Green in 10th position.
And Jeff Purvis, who we showed you earlier, having a good run tonight. The engine has gone sour in that car, and he's losing position. He's now a couple laps down, back in 30th spot.
Well, Jimmy Spencer's in the 12 car, and he owns the 5 car. And Dick Fickle, who's driving for Jimmy, gives the boss a shove. Get out of my way, man. I'm trying to make some money here.
That would not be good to spin out the boss.
No, it would
not be good.
Not be a good move at all. Mr. Carr said, what are you doing? What are you thinking, man?
But at least Spencer moved over and let the 5 car go by pretty easily. And Jason Keller moves into the 12th spot, gets by Randy LaJoy.
That'll be 5 laps to go next time by.
And there's a spot right in front of the 71 car, the red man car of Kevin LePage. Jason Keller might be able to run him down before this is over. Right now, the 9 car of Jeff Burton is pulling away a little bit from Jeff Green in second spot. It's almost a 2.5 lead right now as we watch this battle for the 11th, 12th, 13th. Jason Keller right now has a good race car. Talking about this blue, number 57.
As they battle for position, that is Kevin LePage, as you mentioned, and Jason Keller, 2 veterans. LePage, a full-time Winston Cup competitor. 4 laps to go. Every position is critical here. Jeff Burton, the leader. Jeff Green in second spot. Todd Bodine is third. Mark Martin fourth. And Kevin Grubb in 5th spot.
And Matt Kenseth just drove by Jimmy Spencer to take over the 8th position.
There's Todd Bodine in the 66, left side of your screen, the winner at Michigan earlier this year. As you ride along with the Winn-Dixie car. And side by side, Keller will have the position from Kevin LePage. That's 11th spot. Now here is Mark Martin up on the rear deck with 2 laps to go of Todd Bodine. As the white flag is waved to Jeff Burton. NorthernLight.com Ford showing the way. Here's the battle now for 3rd position. Mark Martin looks to the inside of Todd Bodine. The leader is in turn 3. Jeff Burton will come to turn 4. There's the leader coming out of turn 4. Burton will take a checkered flag for his 3rd win of the year, but the battle is for 3rd spot. Side by side, turn 4. Bo down the inside, Martin the high side, and Mark Martin, it looks like, will get the advantage by maybe a half a car length. Here's a 12 and 34 for position. And Jimmy Spencer will have the advantage out of turn 4.
That was for the 9th position.
Wow, what an effort tonight. Let's go down to Ray Dunlap as Jeff Burton waves to the crowd.
Well, we got to hear from the crew chief because he helped make it happen. Tommy Morgan, great run tonight. I'll tell you what, that car really was dominant.
What can I say about Jeff Burton at Richmond Raceway? I mean, you know, the NorthernLight.com Rouse Racing Ford was awesome tonight. Pit crew did an awesome job. I mean, what can I say about him driving this place?
Even the crew chief gets in the sponsor plug.
All right, Tommy Morgan. A pat on the back for Tommy Morgan and that crew. And this guy here, is he good at Richmond or what? We'll talk to Jeff Burton when we come back. Back at Richmond International Raceway, the 19th running of the Autolite Fram 250 is history. And here's the guy that's dominating tonight. An incredible effort by Jeff Burton, who led 197 of 250 laps. 6 races this season he has led in 10 starts. He picked up his 3rd career win for this year, his 13th overall. Let's go down to our McDonald's winner circle. Here's Bill Weber.
Well, it has been quite a Friday for Jeff Burton, his first Winston Cup pole in 4 years, and then a big win here in the Busch race. Congratulations.
It's a great night for us. We've struggled here with the Busch car and the Cup car this year and last year. And came here and tested a few weeks ago and had a great test in the Cup car. And took some of that, not all of it, but took some of it and put on a Busch car, and the Busch car was great. So real proud of all these guys. They do a good job. We build our cars in-house, we build our bodies in-house, we build our own engines, we do everything. So it's real rewarding when we can't get a win.
Was that car as good as it looked, Jeff?
The car was real good. I was real tight at the end. I was pretty happy the 10 car wasn't as good as he had been early in the race. He looked like he was either loose or tight. I'm not sure which. We were tight, and I'm glad he wasn't as good as he was before, because he would have beat us.
You did have to fight through some traffic there after that final pit stop.
That was fun, you know. Anytime you got to race Spencer for the lead, you're going to have your hands full, and we rubbed and bumped, but, you know, that's what racing's all about. And Spencer's fun to race with. He had older tires, but he wasn't going to let go. You know, he was going to hold tight, and that's what he was supposed to do.
Well, congratulations and best of luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.
Jeff Burton in victory lane here at Richmond.
And second place for Jeff Green tonight. Looked like you had a really good race car in the middle part of this race, but then the 9 got by you, and there's nothing you could do, right?
Well, he was just a little bit better than I was right through traffic, and trying to take care of my Nesquik Chevy a little bit. But, you know, if I got to him, I don't know if I could ever pass him. We were just so even. I think we were just so equal every lap, and whoever got the brakes on the lap traffic was going to win. But good night for him, and just a good night for our Nesquik Chevy. My guys did a great job today again. Made a few adjustments before the race started. Man, it was right on. That's all you can ask for him.
I need to let you know something. You got a great big point lead. You don't have to take care of the car.
Well, we want to win these races, you know, and you can't win if you don't have all the fenders on them, and that's all about. We raced them as hard as we could race them. They're the last 50 laps. I was sliding all over the track, but I'm sure he was too, and just a great race. Hope it's a great race for the fans.
Okay, good point from Jeff Green. He finishes second tonight at Richmond.
That was Jeff Green's 7th top 5 finish in 8 short track events this year. We take a look at the NASCAR Busch Series standings with 6 events remaining in this 2000 season. Look at Jeff Green's lead, 649 points. And then Harvick back has lost a little ground to Jason Keller tonight. Todd Bodine in 4th spot, Elton Sawyer, Hornaday, LaJoy, Green, Atwood, and Jimmy Johnson, who's back in the 10th spot in the standings. Back with more to wrap it up from Richmond in just a moment. The NASCAR Busch Series short track season is over, and what a way to go out on the short tracks. A great crowd, a beautiful night for racing, and an incredible effort by a couple of young drivers. Ray Dunlap?
It was a very good night for Todd Bodine. 4th place finish tonight. You got to run every lap. Looked like that last one was pretty wild for you.
It was a handful, to say the least. We'd run out of tires. The Phillips 66 Monte Carlo. We changed a bunch of stuff on the car. Air pressures, wedge, track bar. It was way too tight in the beginning. Donnie did a great job adjusting. They had good pit stops. The last run was the best it was all night, thankfully. But at the end there, we ran out of tires, and Mark beat the line by probably 3-4 inches. But it was a good night, you know. It wasn't the best car here, but It was a decent car. Started on a pole, finished 4th. It was okay.
You can tell Todd Bodine was working hard. He finishes 4th, and now we want to hear from the guy who finished 5th, Kevin Grubb. Hey, Kevin, step in here. I talked at the top of the show about how your finishes at this track has never been indicative of how good you run. Tonight, you showed us how good you can be here at Richmond.
I'll tell you, ever since I started coming here, we've run, pretty good, and then we've only had a couple good finishes, and tonight luck was on our side. We didn't have the bad luck like we did in the spring. The spring race, we were great. We had a terminal car, good pit stops, running good. It just didn't end up like that for us. We had a wreck with a lap car, and but this is where our bad luck started, and hopefully it ended here tonight.
Okay, congratulations. Check out the T-shirts the crews had on tonight here, folks. Our very final race at Richmond, the last Busch Series race of 2000. Bill?
Well, with Kevin Harvick, you've had some great races this season, but this was not one of them.
No, this definitely wasn't one of the greatest ones for us. The AC Delco car was good early on, and we were able to run right with Jeff, and the rear end locked up for some reason. It blew all the oil out there at the beginning of the race, and I didn't say nothing on the radio, but it was all gone, and it quit smoking because it didn't have any more lube in it. But I thought it knocked the left front fender in there when Green was throwing a temper tantrum, but I think it just must have been one of those deals where things kept getting tighter and tighter, and then finally it just locked up solid.
Yeah, you lost a few points here tonight, too.
That's all right. We'll get them back.
All right. Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks.
Well, remember that young man's name, Kevin Harvick. You'll hear it for a lot of years to come, not only in the Busch Series, but Winston Cup. Our unofficial results tonight, 14 cars finished on the lead lap. Jeff Burton, Jeff Green, Martin Bodine, and Kevin Grubb. We looked at it in 14th spot. How about Brandon Butler? Good run for Brandon Butler, an infrequent competitor this year in Busch, but watch out for the future.
Well, the local drivers, Brandon Butler, 16th through 30th. Michael Walter will lead that group. All these cars back to 28th, 1 lap down. And Mike Wallace at one time was 2 laps down. He gets 1 on the back, but still 28th, the best he could do. Kyle Petty, the first car, 2 laps down.
And the final starters, you see where Jeff Purvis had his troubles. Elliott Sadler, 3 laps down. Sterling Marlin, one of the first cars out tonight. Tough break for the former Bristol winner earlier this year. He finishes 43rd. We'll come back to wrap it up from Richmond International Raceway in just a moment. Raceway, as this race is now history, and Jeff Burton celebrates. Let's go down and check with the second place man in the point standings. Bill Weber?
Well, with Jason Keller, and you're able to smile. You, as you said, salvaged something tonight.
We did. Really ran good there from the middle part of the race on, but my bad qualifying run really set the tone for the whole night, and not only did I have to race the cars on the lead lap, but I had to race the lap down cars, but hey, it was a pretty good night for us. Didn't take too big a hit in the points, and keep plugging away. I mean, we've got fast race cars. Just didn't salvage too much tonight, and Excedrin PM, we're working some things out for next year, so hopefully we'll be back, and hate to see ESPN go. It's you guys have been great for racing, and hopefully we'll be back one day.
Thanks a lot. It's a challenge to come through the field here, isn't it?
It is, but a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun tonight, and just didn't. I thought it was a 400-miler. I got tomorrow night and tonight mixed up, but hey, it was a great night for us.
All right, Jason. Thanks a lot. See you next week.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
And Jason, thanks for the kind comments. Indeed, for 19 years we've been covering NASCAR's Busch Series, and this is our finale. We will miss you too as well, young ladies. We miss Kenny Irwin and Adam Petty so very much. Our final NASCAR Busch Series event tonight is history at Richmond International Raceway in Benny. For 19 years, we have seen some incredible shows, some talented young drivers move along to Winston Cup, but hard to say none much better than this one here tonight.
No, it really was a great race. Jeff Burton did a fantastic job, but we saw the future in NASCAR Winston Cup racing with Kevin Harvick, Jeff Green, some of these other guys that ran so well.
Well, our Busch Series coverage is history, but we've got Winston Cup coming your way tomorrow. We'll start it all with NASCAR today at 6:30 Eastern Time. Bill Weber will host that show. Then our live flag-to-flag coverage of the NASCAR Winston Cup Chevrolet Monte Carlo 400. And guess who? Jeff Burton is on the pole, 7:30 Eastern Time. We'll wrap it up with RPM tonight at 2 a.m. Eastern Time on ESPN2. For more, log on to ESPN.com. And remember, coming up next is Friday Night Fights. That's coming up next. Yes, race fans, we're going to miss you too as we look ahead to tomorrow night's coverage. What a night it was for the NASCAR Busch Series Stars and Cars, their final short track event of the year. For Benny Parsons, Bill Weber, and Ray Dunlap, I'm Jerry Punch, once again congratulating Jeff Burton on his win in tonight's Autolite Fram 250. Don't forget, coming up next, Friday Night Fights. And yes, We thank you, Busch Series competitors, for all you've done for us for 19 years. And what a show you put on tonight. The action track lived up to its reputation. They slid. They hit. There was flames. There was incredible passes. And what an effort tonight by Jeff Burton. It's been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Once again, we congratulate tonight's winner, Jeff Burton. And for the final time in the Busch Series, so long, everybody. We welcome you to the World Center of Racing, Daytona International Speedway, for this, the landmark 25th anniversary season of the True Value International Race of Champions. Hello, everyone. I'm Jerry Punch, and we are glad to have you with us. You know, this all began way back in 1973 when racing enthusiast Roger Penske and Riverside Raceway President Les Richter decided, let's figure out who really is the best race car driver in the world. How do you do that? Well, you invite championship caliber drivers from all over the world, put them in identically prepared cars on the same racetracks on the same days. And the result, well, 1974's inaugural IROC champion Mark Donohue drove this Porsche 911 to 3 wins in 4 events that first season. After the first year, these exotic sports cars were gone, replaced by American-made muscle cars, like this Camaro that Mario Andretti drove to the 1979 IROC Series title. But today, 12 of the world's greatest race car drivers will compete in identically prepared Pontiac Firebird Trans Ams here at Daytona to see who will be the IROC anniversary champion for this 25th year. Over the past 24 seasons, there have been some great moments in the International Race of Champions. But folks, stay tuned. The best is yet to come.
What would happen if you took the 12 finest race drivers in the world?
He's spinning there in the front stretch, back stretch, going into top 9. We've got an accident off the start.
All of the greatest racing drivers in the world.
And he's going to give him a little help. There it is. Whoa!
He's up inside Bell. You see, he's made Bell spin. Unbelievable.
The premise, of course, is to determine who would be the world's greatest race driver.
Robbie Rahal and Michael Andretti tangle with one another.
Here comes Jeff Gordon around Zanardi.
Son and father touch coming down.
Wow, what a finish.
Well, it's finally been done in an international race of champions.
ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports, welcomes you to race number 1 of the 2001 True Value International Race of Champions. We're at Daytona International Speedway as we kick off this 25th year of the series. Hi, everyone. I'm Bob Jenkins. Welcome to Daytona as we begin this 4-race series. We'll also have events at Talladega, at Michigan, and we'll wrap things up at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Now, this is the 25th year. We've seen some great races over the past year at Daytona. Basically, they've been dominated by those drivers in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. Scott Sharp is one of the drivers that will be calling the race for us here today. And, Scott, what do you think? Do the IndyCar drivers have a shot at it this year?
Well, you know, Bob, typically the open-wheel drivers are certainly at a bit of a disadvantage. It's the best NASCAR drivers on their track with their cars. In the last 5 years, they've only won 15% of the time. But this year, things might be different. Jay Signore and the IROC team have added roof spoiler and more rear spoiler for more downforce, makes the cars easier to drive, gives off a bigger wake, better drafting, so that should help. Certainly also, Eddie Cheever and Kevin Brack are 2 really aggressive drivers, adapted well to these cars, and if the other open-wheel guys can get behind them, help them, they might have a surprise for them.
And also with us, Jeffrey Bodine, who is a former winner of the Daytona 500 and the 1987 champion of the IROC Series. What do you think? Are the IndyCar guys going to have a show today?
Well, Bob, Scott really said it all. I mean, with the cars change a little bit, more aerodynamics, more drafting, easier to drive, with the experience the open-wheel guys have at some of these tracks, like here at Daytona, don't be surprised if you see one of those boys driving victory lanes.
Dale Earnhardt is the defending champion of the race and also of the series. 40 laps, 100 miles of competition. The yellow flag laps do not count. We'll be back with the lineup in a moment to Daytona. And the cars are on the racetrack getting ready for 40 laps, 100 miles of competition. There you see the front row pulling alongside the pace car. Dale Earnhardt in the green car and Eddie Cheever in silver at the top of the racetrack. 12 cars, all
colored differently and set to duke it out here on the high banks of Daytona. Going to take a couple of warm-up laps before they get the green flag. Let's take a look at the lineup from the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. On the pole is Dale Earnhardt, and alongside from the Indy Racing Northern Light Series, Eddie Cheever. Earnhardt is a four-time and defending IROC champion. He'll drive the green car. Cheever is in silver, won the IROC race at Michigan last year. In row number 2 from the NASCAR Winston Cup Series, Jeff Burton, and from the Indy Racing Northern Light Series, Scott Goodyear. Burton will be driving the rose-colored car. He was third in Winston Cup points last year. Goodyear finished second in IRL points last year. His car is aqua-colored. In row number 3, from the CART FedEx Championship Series, Kenny Breck, and the Indy Racing Northern Light Series, Mark Dismore. Breck was Rookie of the Year in 2000 in the Champ cars. He's in yellow. Dismore is in the lime-colored car, returning for his second effort in IROC. Fourth row from the NASCAR Winston Cup Series, Dale Jarrett, alongside from the Indy Racing Northern Light Series, Buddy Lazier. Jarrett will be driving the medium blue car. He was sixth in IROC Series in his sixth series, and Lazier in red is the 2000 champion of the IRL. Row 5 from the NASCAR Winston Cup Series, Tony Stewart, and from the same series is Ricky Rudd. Stewart will be driving white, is subbing for an injured Gilles DeFerrin from the CART FedEx Championship Series. Rudd will be in gold and won the IROC title in '92. Then Bobby Labonte from Winston Cup and Jeff Green from the NASCAR Busch Series in the last row. Bobby Labonte will be in the violet car as the defending Winston Cup champion, and Green in black is the defending Busch Series champion. It's a 2.5-mile high bank tri-oval, 40 laps of racing. The banking in the corners is at 31 degrees. And this is the 21st race here at the World Center of Racing. The first race, however, back in 1974, was run on the road course here. And there is the prize breakdown, $1,025,000 in total money, with the money being handed out at the end of the year. The winner gets $250,000. Okay, we're set to go as the pace car heads for the pit area, and Dale Earnhardt leads them down. They get the green flag, and here we go in the silver anniversary season of the International Race of Champions, with Earnhardt jumping out to a bit of a lead here as they enter the banking at the west end of the racetrack. The battle for second position, that is Burton down on the inside, and Eddie Cheever alongside in the silver car. They're 2x2 back of Earnhardt, who right now is out in the lead. On board with Kenny Brack as they race down the backstretch for the first time. And Earnhardt now dropping back just a little bit. He drops back to third position as Jeff Burton has the lead as they come off of corner number 4 for the first time. Earnhardt in the green car moves to the inside, tries to get back that second position, but lap number 1 in this race is going to be led by Jeff Burton. Breck is second, and Earnhardt was in third position. I don't know what happened there on the backstretch to you, Jeff. He's just, for some reason, lost the lead.
Well, for some reason, it's all drafting. These cars, like Scott said earlier, in the beginning of the broadcast, they've increased the downforce, increased the wings on the back, the spoilers. The draft is even better. Here's another draft for the lead. It just looks like it's going to be that kind of a race where no one can stay out in front.
And a bit of a bump draft, if you will. Earnhardt bumping Jeff Burton as they go into the banking, and Breck down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Scott Kenny Breck grew up in Sweden and really got his start on the road courses, but since he's come to America, he's been very impressive on the ovals.
He really has, Bob. He did great in 1999, his first IROC appearance. He's said he's worked real closely with Dick Trick, who's helped him immensely, and he's pretty impressive for not having a lot of time in these cars. I think Kenny could really be up front most of the day today.
Well, as to who led lap number 2, don't know. It was that close with Burton and Breck running side by side as they cross the line once again at the top of the racetrack. It's Dale Earnhardt bumping Jeff Burton, and very close behind in the third position is Eddie Cheever, as that top line now begins to pull away from the line at the inside of the racetrack, which is led by Kenny Breck, with Dale Jarrett right behind Breck in the yellow car.
This is the first time any of you guys have ever been in these cars. I was used to test cars before this, so all the cars are a little bit different. I'd have to think that's a little bit tougher probably for the Oakville guys in NASCAR, wouldn't you?
They're 3 wide as they come down to complete another lap. Now they get into 2 abreast formation as they head for the banking once again, and Earnhardt on the inside pulls alongside Jeff Burton. Probably the driver with the least experience in these cars is Buddy Lazier, who's running at the back of the field right now in that red car, and again, some very close racing out there.
Well, that got real close. Eddie and Kenny Brack got together, and I think Eddie got a little crossed up. He was able to catch the car and keep it going.
Tony Stewart may be off the pace.
It looks like something's wrong with Tony's car. He's definitely slowing down. Looks like he went into the pits and see if they can fix the car, but not looking good right now for Tony.
Well, Tony was not among the original invitees for the 25th year of IROC. He got the nod when Gilles de Ferran, who was injured in a testing crash, decided that